Test, test. Is this right?
Yeah. Like that? Yeah.
Test.
Yeah, there you go.
So like stand like this.
Test. Okay, that's good.
Boone National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. My name is Terry Miller, and I am the advisor of the Daniel Boone chapter of the National Honor Society. We are gathering together to celebrate some of the most talented, dedicated, and intelligent young people from Daniel Boone Area High School. They serve as role models within our school and community, and we are happy to honor them tonight. To begin our evening, I would like to introduce Dr. Brett Cooper, Superintendent of Schools, to give a few words of welcome.
Thank you, Mrs. Miller. Good evening. On behalf of the Daniel Boone Area School District Board of School Directors and District Administration, welcome to this evening's National Honor Society induction ceremony. This evening, we recognize the efforts of individuals who have worked so hard to make tonight's celebration a reality. Outstanding scholarship, leadership, service, and character are the four pillars in which National Honor Society members are chosen. You are here this evening because you exemplify these four characteristics. You have proven yourself to be the forefront of the student body in our Blazer learning community, recognizing that your membership in National Honor Society places you in a position as role models for your peers. 2022 inductees and current members, as you move forward with your learning, you're going to continue to be asked to be problem solvers who possess 21st century skills, who understand the pressures associated with being successful in careers in the workplace. You are encouraged to continue to embody the mindset, work ethic, and motivation that we all hope to instill as it is a strong work ethic, high motivation, and willingness to learn within collaborative groups that will be essential ingredients to your success while experiencing the importance of flexibility in your work with others. Establish attainable goals in which I strongly believe each of you is capable of achieving, and am certain your supporters will continue to nurture as you continue to take advantage of the opportunities before you. We ask that you continue your efforts, remain open-minded, and commit yourselves to learning as much as possible, avoiding arrogance and embracing humility along the way. It's all right not to have everything figured out yet. Give yourselves time, but never, ever stop the pursuit of learning. As writer Neil Somerville once stated, without commitment, little will result. Congratulations once again, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Cooper, for sharing with us. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Aaron Spores, principal of the high school, to share a few words.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to first thank everyone tonight for coming out to support our Blazers in their efforts and their accomplishments that they're going to be recognized for here tonight. Secondly, I'd like to say that this is not one accomplishment that our students strive to achieve. It is a culmination of a lot of hard work and dedication over the years. Standing out in front of the doors each morning and watching them come into school, I can see their dedication to not only their academics, but our school community as a whole, and the service and leadership that they give back in clubs and extracurricular activities. So I'd like everyone to just take a moment and give a round of applause to all the students that are here tonight and their hard work. Next, that hard work is not a singular person's effort, it is a team. So each one of these students has a team behind them. And every once in a while, it's nice for our students to be given the opportunity to recognize their team that supports them. So I would like all the students that are here tonight to stand, take a moment, and think about the people that are in this room that have supported you in your journey to get here. So if you would, all Blazers in the room, please stand. Please give a round of applause to all those in the house that have supported you. Thank you. You guys can sit. As we go through tonight, I want everybody to make sure we recognize all of these Blazers' accomplishments to the most elite level being inducted into the National Honor Society. I thank them from the bottom of my heart of making this the best place to be the principal. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Spores, for your thoughts. I'd like to begin our evening by addressing both the current members of the National Honor Society and those of you being inducted this evening. Congratulations. Your dedication to scholarship, service, leadership, and character are to be commended. You have earned this honor of selection into the National Honor Society. This achievement is one which not only represents what you have already achieved, but also recognizes that you have the potential for great success in all areas of life. To all of the parents and guardians of these fine students, thank you. The time, energy, sacrifice, and love you have poured into your children is obvious by their achievements. You have nurtured your children to become the people they are today. While each student is being inducted based on their qualifications of service, scholarship, and leadership, it is clear that your support and influence has helped them to become the young people they are. They exemplify the qualities that you, their parents and extended family members, have demonstrated and modeled for them. Before we begin the official ceremony, I would like to take some time to thank some of the groups and individuals who helped to make this induction possible. First, thank you to the Daniel Boone Area School District Administration and the members of the school board directors for their continuing support of our program. I would like to thank the National Honor Society Faculty Council. This group represents each of the 5 major departments at the high school and is responsible for the selection of candidates. They pore over each student's credentials and make each decision thoughtfully, using many years of experience in the classroom. Many serve year after year within this volunteer position because they see the value of recognizing those students deserving of the honor of becoming a National Honor Society member. Please stand as I call your name. Mr. Adam Ebling. Mrs. Anita Frederick. Mrs. Sue Fulmer. Sorry. Ms. Rebecca Spear. And Mrs. Jessica Tomaselli. I'd also like to thank the assistant advisor, Jill Menser, for her help through the entire process. To make tonight a success, I have also received considerable help from other volunteers from school organizations. Thank you to Mr. Nick Jacobs of our art department, who designed a logo which will be used within the online broadcast. From the yearbook, we have Ms. Diana Dady giving her time to take photos, editing them, and including them both in the yearbook and being shared with the students and their families. Thank you. Blazer Media, led by Mr. Matt Palmer and student assistant Liam Cherkosky, is live streaming tonight's event. And student volunteer Emilia Michaels has worked with me on our sound and lighting for the evening. Also, a thank you to our custodians and cafeteria staff for helping us prepare and later tonight having to clean up from our event. Specifically, thank you to Thomas Sneed and Vicki Carpenter, who are very big influences and contacts within those teams. We've also received a few donations that I'd like to recognize. Blazer Foundation, and Boyer's Markets, who provided our food, both gave donations towards this evening. I would now like to invite forward the current president of the Daniel Boone Area National Honor Society, Grace Habecker, to introduce tonight's speaker.
Our speaker this evening is Mr. Matt Simmons. Mr. Simmons is a 2003 graduate of Daniel Boone, who currently works as a program manager in Northrop Grumman's space sector. After graduation, Matt earned a bachelor's in aerospace engineering from Penn State University, a master's in engineering management from George Washington University, and completed the engineering leadership development program at Lockheed Martin. Building on his childhood love of space, Matt has worked in various engineering, leadership, and management positions at both Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman, with several teams earning meritorious citations and Team of the Year awards. Matt was inducted into the Daniel Boone NHS in 2001 and served as the vice president of Daniel Boone's chapter in 2002 to 2003 school year. I am happy to introduce Mr. Matt Simmons.
Good evening. It's an honor to be here tonight as we celebrate the accomplishments of tonight's inductees. All of your hard work has paid off and culminated in your induction into the National Honor Society. You all have surely made sacrifices to get to this point. You should be extremely proud of the recognition you're earning tonight. Your accomplishments in scholarship, leadership, service, and character prove that each one of you is a future leader, and you're setting yourselves up for continued success. And even though the NHS does look good on your college application, your acceptance into this prestigious organization should not be your end goal. It is the first step in a lifelong commitment to excellence and exemplifying the ideals of the NHS. That is, after all, why they're called the pillars. They are the building blocks of what makes a successful person, and they provide a strong base for you to build your skill set on based on your own individual priorities, goals, and interests. And while I could stand up here and read some amazing quotes from very famous people about how important those pillars are, I thought it would be much more useful to provide some insight based on my own personal experiences. 20 years ago, I was sitting where you are, not knowing exactly what the future held for me. What I didn't expect is that it would involve managing programs with some of the country's biggest space programs, or biggest companies in the aerospace industry, or, in what was a big professional highlight for me, a job interview at NASA in Houston. Apollo 13 was a life-changing movie for me. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend you go see it. So it was an easy decision for me when, after the interview at Johnson Space Center, they asked me if I wanted to go see the historic Mission Control Center. I tried to keep my calm, but I'm pretty sure what came out of my mouth was, yes! And so I got to go in there. I had the whole room to myself, and then they asked me if I wanted to sit in the flight director chair. Of course I did. And I think they realized that was a mistake when they had to pry me out of the chair and away from all the buttons that they were letting me touch. In any case, that was a huge moment for me. And I say that because there are similar experiences waiting for you. And I hope that some of the lessons I've learned can help guide you along your way as you go through the rest of your education and move on to your own big personal moments. So we'll start off with service. It's obvious that there's a benefit to others in your community by volunteering for different projects. Not only that, they're a great resume builder. And how does that apply to you? Well, more students these days are going to college, and good grades alone aren't enough to get you into some of the more competitive schools. The same is true with future employers. Schools and employers are looking for well-rounded individuals. Now, being here proves that you fall into that category, but the challenge is to not get complacent and to continue making positive contributions. Even the smallest volunteer work for you may make all the difference to potential schools or companies. When I was a senior in college, I got a call from Lockheed Martin to go down to Virginia to interview for a position. And reading about the position sounded like a dream job for me. And I couldn't believe they actually called me about it. This was also right after that Houston trip, so I was feeling pretty good about myself. I walk into that interview, and it turns out I'm meeting with the program manager and one of his young deputies. Now, I vividly remember the manager asking me his first question, "Tell me a little bit about yourself." So I briefly talked about my education, some of the classes I'd taken, the schools I'd gone to, what I thought was a standard response to that. And I thought, oh, there'll be a follow-up question to that where I can talk about more of the other things. But the manager just looked at me and thanked me for my time. And my first thought was, wow, what a terrible way to interview someone. But as the disappointment was hitting me and I thought I had blown my chance, that young deputy in the room spoke up and said, wait a second. She had noticed the smallest bullet point on my resume talking about a project that I had volunteered for when I was in college. And she wanted to talk about it. That led to a 15 to 20-minute conversation about some of the work I had done outside of the normal coursework. And that conversation was what made all the difference. I never would have gotten that job if I hadn't done service projects or volunteered outside the normal classwork, if I hadn't done what was more than what was expected of me. Moving to leadership. A good leader can make or break a team. Yet a recent study found that only 11%, and that is a tiny, tiny number here, 11% of organizations say that they have a strong leadership bench. What that means is that there are and will be plenty of opportunities for those of you that want to step into leadership roles. And you may be sitting there thinking, well, I'm not ready for that kind of responsibility. But one of the benefits of NHS membership is that there are plenty of chances for you to hone your skills. And while that may seem like a daunting task, leading is really simple if you just think of it as a series of small decisions. Even the largest projects develop out of making one small decision at a time. Sometimes you'll make the right decision. Sometimes they'll be the wrong one. But that's okay. Early in my career, after making what was a pretty big error, my manager sat me down and he gave me a Mark Twain quote, and it has stuck with me ever since. Good decisions come from experience. Experience comes from making bad decisions. So don't be afraid of making mistakes, but learn from them, and you'll have plenty of success in your future as a leader. Next, we'll move to scholarship. Your grades are extremely important right now as you prepare for college, but as you get older, bosses and hiring managers care much more about your willingness to learn than they do about your current GPA. The people that take the extra time to learn smaller details, do the extra work, they are the ones that quickly become valuable and eventually indispensable to an organization. You may even find in the future that topics that you may not be as interested in right now, you are extremely interested in as you get older. You need to keep an open mind, be receptive to a wide variety of ideas and information, and be willing to try new things. One way you can do that now is to take advantage of the clubs and organizations that are offered here and in your future colleges. The ability to join those organizations doesn't last forever, and it's a great opportunity to learn new skills. And you don't want to regret missing out on those opportunities later. Lastly, and in my opinion, the most important is character. With the other three pillars, you can succeed at them either by learning how to do them, like leadership, or simply by showing up and doing service projects. The same isn't true for character. It's something that develops over time. When I think of character, there are two qualities that come to mind. The first one is accountability and following through with your commitments. I'm sure all of you have had the frustrating experience of being in a group project and maybe someone didn't pull their weight and get the job done in time, but they didn't tell you till the last minute. And you've had to do a mad scramble to get it done before the deadline. Well, that's something that may continue throughout the rest of your career, but you don't want to be the one that isn't following through on your commitment. Knowing your own limitations and being honest about what you can and can't do will earn your respect with your colleagues all throughout your career. And something else to remember is that your reputation always precedes you. You may not know this, but your teachers already know about you before you have even set foot in their classroom. And that same concept applies to the workforce. Hiring managers will reach out to your previous employers, they'll search your social media accounts, and they'll try to learn more about your character before they ever decide to interview you. So be conscientious about what your actions say about you and the character that you want to put on display for everyone. The second quality is gratitude, and being grateful in both success and failure. In my experience, being appreciative of the efforts of others and the opportunities you've been given makes a positive impact on everyone around you and creates just a general good working environment. I think you'll be surprised just how far the two simple words of thank you will take you. Now, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by all these things, but just remember, you're just at the start of your process. Nothing I'm talking about here tonight happens overnight. It's something that you build on little by little. The other good news, as was mentioned earlier, is that you're not in this alone. We can see that just in the pure number of people that are here in the audience. Whether it's your family that's here with us tonight, or the ones that are watching the live stream. Maybe it's a teacher or a trusted friend. Each of them provides a support system for you that will help you along the way. In closing, each of you should feel extremely excited for your future. Being here tonight means that you're already well on your way to success and are ready to make a lasting mark on the world around you. So enjoy tonight. Feel proud of everything you've accomplished so far, and most importantly, keep working hard. I assure you there are many more accomplishments to come. With that, I'd like to say congratulations to all of tonight's inductees, and thank you for allowing me to be here with you tonight.
Mr. Simmons, thank you for sharing with us. As a token of our appreciation, Grace Habacher, the president of the Daniel Boone Area Chapter of the National Honor Society, has a small gift for you. At this time, we would like to begin the formal induction ceremony. Each of our officers has prepared a speech reflecting their interpretation of the qualities personified by members of the National Honor Society. Grace Habacher will begin by presenting her thoughts on leadership.
I represent the pillar of leadership. Lao Tzu, an ancient Chinese philosopher and founder of Taoism, once said, "A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, 'We did it ourselves.'" Being a leader is a choice. It is helping the person to the left of you or the person to the right. No one leader is the same. We all help others in many different ways. A good leader possesses self-awareness, credibility, and empathy. Think of it as if you were climbing a mountain with a group of friends or coworkers or whoever else. You could go ahead of everyone else, but you decide to stay back with those who are struggling to make it up that mountain. You focus on encouraging them rather than offering to carry them because you know they can succeed with some support. It is never about superseding others, managing them, or being higher up. Leadership is an important quality in a great person, and we all hold some form of it, no matter who you are, where you came from, or what you plan to do. Today, I would like to welcome all our new inductees who have shown us they hold the pillar of leadership, as well as the 4 others close to their virtues. Congratulations, and do not be afraid to lead others. To encourage inclusion and an understanding for everyone. You will be seen as a role model for all of the underclassmen, and you are who can help guide them to their success story. You must lead by example. Show others how you are a leader. Ultimately, being a leader is not about having followers or commanding an army of persons. It is about accepting others and uplifting those around you to help them achieve happiness of their own. It is not about being recognized in front of many, but instead allowing others to flourish in their own shoes, sometimes with your help. You are all leaders at heart. Never be afraid to lead. Congratulations once again to the new NHS inductees. I would like to now call up Lauren Kaba, our Vice President, to speak about the Pillar of Scholarship.
Good evening. My name is Lauren Kaba, and I represent the Pillar of Scholarship. By definition, scholarship is a commitment to learning and growing on an educational path. A person who represents scholarship does not have to be the most intellectual person, but rather someone who possesses a thirst for knowledge. Poet James Russell Lowell once said, "True scholarship consists in knowing not what things exist, but what they mean. It is not memory, but judgment." The dedication to wanting to absorb and understand what is being learned is a prime example of what scholarship is about. Making the most out of every opportunity provided is what sets a scholar apart from the crowd. A true scholar has the motivation to be highly successful and the desire to make a meaningful impact on the people that surround them. Tonight, we recognize the scholarship and accomplishments of our returning members and new inductees into the National Honor Society. Each and every one of these students has displayed a high level of commitment to their academics and continues to excel not only in school, but in every environment. While admission to the National Honor Society acknowledges a student's grade point average, it also takes an in-depth look at the student and whether or not an individual has the inclination to better themselves and the zest needed to expand their knowledge. These are traits one needs to be successful in life, gifts that will follow them and provide continual growth. Scholarship is not something that is given, but is something that an individual works hard to obtain. Once acquired, it is forever a part of you. The efforts of each of these students to continue this quest for knowledge should be commended. And with that, congratulations to all of the new inductees. I would now like to introduce the Treasurer of National Honor Society, Will Gaskins, to share his thoughts on service.
Good evening. My name is Will Gaskins, and I represent the Pillar of Service. Service is commonly thought of as a grand gesture, an obligation, or a commitment. For example, serving in the military or serving as a first responder are common commitments to service. However, service really can be much simpler and uncomplicated. Service, in basic terms, is helping others. It could be volunteering in a soup kitchen or donating blood, but it could also be helping someone with their homework or giving them a ride to school. Service doesn't have to be a sizable commitment to have the power to impact others. Opportunities for service are all around us every day. Service is often misinterpreted as actions beneficial only to others. Gandhi once said, "The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others." This implies that service can be beneficial not only to other people, but also to yourself. It can make you happy to make others happy, and if you help someone, they're more likely to help someone else, and this cycle will continue. This in itself helps to build a sense of community. Through helping others, people often become more selfless, humble, and grounded. When helping those less fortunate, people are often reminded of the things that they may take for granted. Most importantly, helping others builds connections that can lead to friendships and increase the strength of a community. Those being inducted to the National Honor Society tonight have exemplified their dedication to service and helping others. They will be able to continue this growth through the National Honor Society's tutoring program, which encourages academic growth and also helps to build connections between students. I'm sure that each one of us can recall a recent kind gesture that helped us in one way or another. These memories can attest to the fact that service can be simple and how easy it is to lend a helping hand. Because of this, I'm confident that each one of you has provided service to more people than you even realize. I would now like to introduce our corresponding secretary, Lauren Massengale, to share her thoughts on character.
Good evening. My name is Lauren Massengale, and I represent the Pillar of Character. As you stand before us, your leadership, academic achievement, and ambition have led you to this point. You've been invited by your teachers to join your peers in the pursuit of your highest, best self. Be sure they are your decisions, based on your moral code, and not influenced by others. The National Honor Society should not only be the gateway to preparing for further education, but should be a platform that already represents your values in these pillars. Support those without a voice. Value and seek the differences and diversity in your community. Honor the lessons of those that have come before you and forge your own path. Character will be defined in the moments when you decide what you stand for, who you support, and whose voice you represent when they cannot represent themselves. All of our infinitely small decisions we make constantly throughout the day bring us to bigger decisions that define our integrity and moral standard, like a mirror reflecting back onto you. Sometimes it's the should I or shouldn't I moment, that split second, when we have to make a decision we can live with for the rest of our life. So character is not a minutely defined aspect of yourself, but is it a culmination of all your decisions and habits. Not every decision will be the right one, and not every outcome will be the one we expect, but our character defines how we will handle those outcomes. A wrong decision does not define you. Be sure that when you look back, you make choices and decisions that truly represent who you are. Your character will follow you throughout your education, wherever that may lead you, into your personal life, the relationships you form, and your professional journey. Be sure that you like what it says. As Frank Outlaw once said, "Watch your thoughts, they become your words. Watch your words, they become your actions. Watch your actions, they become your habits. Watch your habits, they become your character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny." I would like to now introduce our recording secretary, Natalie Jacob Bell, to present on knowledge.
Good evening. My name is Natalie Jacob Bell, and I represent the Pillar of Knowledge. Everyone in the National Honor Society obviously possesses knowledge, but what truly is it? Socrates, the Greek philosopher, once said, "True knowledge exists in knowing that you know nothing." He discovered this after an oracle told him he was the wisest man to exist. Socrates would not accept this fact, so he traveled far and wide to find people that could possibly have more wisdom than he did. He met many intelligent and brilliant people. However, each of these people were missing one thing. They all believed that they were so knowledgeable that they had nothing else to possibly learn and no one could ever be smarter than them. But Socrates' wisdom was based on the fact that he realized how much he did not know and how much he still had to learn. Socrates therefore concluded that the oracle was right. He believed true wisdom comes to each of us when we realize how little we understand about life, ourselves, and the world around us. And even when we do realize how much we have left to learn, we cannot even begin to wrap our heads around how much infinite wisdom is possibly out there. However, this does not mean that we should diminish the knowledge that we do in fact possess. Amazing things have been accomplished by smart, intelligent people. If you work hard, your knowledge will help you to achieve all that you possibly wish for. Blair Waldorf once said, "Charm is all well and good, but in the real world, knowledge is power." I would like to reintroduce Mrs. Miller.
An important part of each year's induction ceremony is the lighting of the candles. This represents the students' acknowledgement of the principles and pillars held as members of the National Honor Society. I would like to reintroduce our president, Grace Habecker, to announce our new members.
As I call each one of the inductees, will you please come up front to receive the candle of knowledge, which encompasses all of our principles and become a member of the National Honor Society. Owen Adamitz. Sarah Amsberg. Luke Armstrong. Sophia Bishop. Shannon Brown. Maisie Canfield. Emma Chaklasky. Sydney Sheffo. Madeline Cooper. Angelina Davis. Marielle Davis. Abigail Dice. Matthew Ferenz. Marley Fetro. Evan Gowdy. London Grubb. Kelly Ha. Luke Harper. Landon Herzog. Hannah Huddleston. Tavi Inthafone. Marin Kraus. Isaac Kramer. Ethan Kryman. Natalie Kryman. Stephanie Lay. Sylvie Lee Nugent. Kendall Lee. Emily Lynn. Shyla Mohia. Riley Menzel. Jordan Meyer. Evan Miller. Alexa Nickisher. Angelo Salamno. Samuel Shank. Austin Snavely. Amanda Spots. Reagan Stout. Nathan Tidball. Callie Whirl. Samuel Yoakum. And Sarah Young. Will you now repeat the pledge of the Daniel Boone Area High School National Honor Society with me? I pledge myself to uphold, I pledge myself to uphold the high purpose of the National Honor Society, the high purpose of the National Honor Society, to which I have been elected, I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. I will be loyal to my school. I will be loyal to my school and will maintain and encourage high standards of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. Congratulations, new inductees. You can now extinguish your candles. We are going to take a few minutes for photos. The pictures taken by our yearbook photographers will be shared with the students, so we ask that families please give the opportunity to the yearbook staff first. We will begin with pictures of our new inductees, and then we will invite the returning members to the stage for additional photos. We would like to invite everyone to join us in the cafeteria for a reception. Thank you for attending this evening.